The advice and opinions expressed by Dr. Granpeesheh and her guests are meant solely as suggestion and should not be in any way construed as child-specific advice.
Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh is the
Dr. Doreen is an expert in autism.
Doreen Granpeesheh.
Dr. Granpeesheh.
Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh.
Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh is a visionary in the field of autism. Now you can ask her questions on Ask Dr. Doreen. Today's topic, though, is educationally enriched environment. We're going to start with that. The first question that somebody asked was, what do you mean when you say educationally enriched environment? Because you say this a lot.
Sure, yeah. And so I always go back to, studies that have shown for many, many years that the more you, engage and activate the brain, the more you keep the brain busy, the more growth there is and more learning. And it makes sense, obviously, because especially if it's early in one's life, but also later in life. Like, early in one's life, what you're doing is if you're engaging in activities that are problem solving, let's say, or even if you go very early in life, if you have a lot of, I'll give you an example. When a baby is born, right at the very beginning, and they cannot see colors yet, they just basically see black, white, or red. You can buy, as a parent, a lot of these stimuli that, you can put it behind the driver's seat or in a mobile or something, and the baby is looking at all these patterns that are black, white, and red. The reason for that is that when you visually engage, so when you're showing the baby, the infant, all these various stimuli, you're producing growth of nerve cells, dendrites and axons are growing in the brain, and you're causing more connections, right, between the various parts of the brain. And then later, of course, as the child starts to understand, it's about language and it's about giving them a lot of sensory feedback, and then gradually it's just about learning and giving them all the different things that help them learn and problem solve. And now you can fast forward all the way to as a senior, and we have crossword puzzles or Wordle or any kind of problem solving thing, and they say if you do that every day, it's very good to keep your brain active. And so the concept is the same when we're talking about an educationally enriched environment. And I'm really glad you're bringing this up, Shannon, because one of the things that is really important is for parents and for clinicians, everyone, to realize that any kind of engagement is better than no engagement. Activation of the brain has to do with just someone interacting with you, presenting stimuli to you, presenting things that are maybe challenging or just not even challenging, but entertaining. Just keeping your brain active is a very good thing. Yeah. And the reason that I say this right now is because I'm working on, trying to figure out within CARD why there are so many difficulties with matching our behavior therapists, our technicians to children, and providing all the hours of intervention that a child is authorized to receive. And sometimes it's because a supervisor may feel or a parent may feel oh, I already have 4 or 5 people working with my child. I don't want an additional one. I don't want to have a 6th person. And, it is true that it's harder for a supervisor to manage when there's 6 or 7 people. But for the child, it is always beneficial to have 1 more hour, even if it's with one other person. It is always better to have some form of educational or, any kind of brain activity than none, than just, not doing anything or, not paying attention to some educational stimulus.
Absolutely. Don't forget, you can watch Ask Dr. Doreen live every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We hope to see you there.